This session will explore, is there a place for Jewish mysticism in our lives? And I want to begin with a story. And the story is about Moshe the tailor. Imagine a 19th century kind of Fiddler on the Roof setting. And Moshe has been saving for years to open up his own tailor shop. And finally, he gets the amount of money that he needs after saving all of it, 10,000 rubles. And he is heading home from a nearby town where he just finished some work, an assignment, and he wants to stop by the home of his Rebbe in order to get a blessing for this new chapter in his life of opening this store. Now, a Rebbe is different than a rabbi. A rabbi is a teacher, a community leader. A Rebbe is someone who connects you to the deepest depth of your soul. A Rebbe is somebody who can look right in you and know exactly what you need for your soul to grow and can be a guide. And Moshe's Rebbe was not just any Rebbe. He was someone who was in charge of the 36, the Lamed Vav Tzadikim, the 36 holy hidden people in the world. Legend has it that there were 36 people that the whole world was only able to be sustained moment by moment because of the presence of the holiness of these individuals. And when one person would die, there would be another person who would come up to take their place. And so you can imagine that if Moshe's Rebbe was in charge of taking care of the needs of the Lamed Vav Tzadikim, these 36 holy hidden people in the world, then he had a huge responsibility. So Moshe knocks on his Rebbe's door, opens the door, and the Rebbe says, Moshe, I'm so glad to see you. I need 10,000 rubles right now. Moshe had just been working for years to save the 10,000 rubles. And he knows, if the Rebbe asks for this money, he really needs it. He knows the Rebbe's job. And he says, oh, Rebbe, I'm so honored that you asked me. And the Rebbe sees that he's hesitating. The Rebbe knows, of course, what he's gone through. He says, Moshe, I'll tell you what, make it easy. You give me the 10,000 rubles and I'll make sure that you will never have to worry about money. Wow. That a blessing from the Rebbe, that could be the answer to his prayers. But Moshe's thinking, I don't have to worry about money. Does that mean that I'm going to be poor, but I just won't worry about it? Can't quite stomach that one. And the Rebbe sees it, of course, and says, Moshe, not only will you never have to be worried about money, but you can have one wish, anything that you want. Think about it. And Moshe knows that this is a deal he can't pass up. So he takes it because he says, if I want, I can have the wish that I'm going to have tons of money. So he goes back to his town. He doesn't have the money to open up his store. He's thinking, I don't have to worry about money, but I get to have a wish. Maybe I can trust that the money thing will take care of itself. My wish, I want to fill this emptiness in myself, and I know that money isn't the answer. About a month later, Moshe is sitting in the square, in the town square, and suddenly the Rebbe comes up to him, and he says, Moshe, so did I tell you didn't have to worry about money? Oh, I forgot one key item. In that month period of time, his great aunt died, and Moshe suddenly had a huge inheritance, and he had plenty of money, and he opened his shop, and it was very successful. Minor detail. So now 1 month comes by, and the Rebbe comes and says, did I tell you you wouldn't have to worry about money? And Moshe says to the Rebbe, oh, Rebbe, it's so great. I so appreciate it. And, but I'm feeling this emptiness, and I'm wondering, should I go to Jerusalem? Should I go to Israel and study with the great teachers and connect to Torah in this deep way and fill my soul. And the Rebbe says, it's time for you to be able to have your wish. What's your wish? And Moshe says, I think that if I were to be able to meet a Lamed Vav Tzaddik, if I were to meet a Lamed Vav Tzaddik, one of these holy hidden people of such depth, I would be filled up in my soul. And I would know whether it was the right thing to go to Jerusalem and leave my business and do all of this. And so the Rebbe says, no problem. After Shabbat, when it's Havdalah, after the 3 stars, wait 2 hours. Go all the way out of town and make your first left. Take that road down until you see your first alley. Make a right on that first alley. Go to the end of the street. This is going to be about 11 o'clock at night. One light is going to be on in the house there. One light. That is where the Lamed Vav Tzaddik lives. And Moshe says, wow, that'd be amazing. And so Shabbat comes. He's totally excited. Can't wait. He waits 2 hours after Havdalah. He heads out of town. He makes his first left. He waits for the alleyway on the right. He makes the right down the alleyway. Sure enough, there's one house at the end there that has a light on. And he comes up to the house and he peeks in and he sees that there is a tailor just like him, who is stitching some clothing, working by candlelight. And all of a sudden he gets so nervous. He doesn't know what to do. What is he going to do? Knock on the door this late and say, hey, I heard that you're a Lamed Vav Tzaddik. Can I have your autograph? Doesn't think that that's going to work. So he gets an idea. He tears his pant legs and he knocks on the door. The door opens and he's face to face with a young teenager, maybe 19, 20, young man with the most beautiful, loving eyes that just seem to bring Moshe into a warm embrace just with his gaze. And the young man says, can I help you? And Moshe says, yes, why? I have this tear, this rip in my pants, and I have a meeting, tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to get home in enough time to try to stitch it myself. And I'm wondering if you can help me. And the tailor says, of course, come in. And he has him come in. He gives him a robe to put on, and Moshe takes off his pants and hands him the pants. And the tailor puts the pants on his table, and he takes the needle and he sticks it in one end of the pant leg. And Moshe feels this pain, deep pain in his chest and his belly, excruciating. And the tailor takes the needle and puts it in the other side of the tear. And incredible pain. And this time it's not only physical. Moshe has these memories, these images of being at school and looking and seeing this group of kids all talking and not wanting him to play with them, and remembers feeling the isolation and the loneliness as a child. And it's horrible. And then suddenly the tailor pulls the pant legs just together, just a little bit like this, the tear just a little together. Suddenly Moshe feels this sense of relief. Oh, so nice. And the tailor goes ahead and sticks in the needle in the pant leg again. And Moshe also feels this deep pain in his head everywhere, and suddenly has an image of remembering when his father died, who he was so close to. And all the pain and grief came up for that. And the tailor put the needle in the other side, and again, pain. But as he drew the pant legs together, the tear together, Moshe felt this sense of well-being. Not only did it feel good in his body when the tear came together, but also he felt a sense of connectedness of being a part of connectedness to his father and his ancestors and all the people. And it went on like this. The tailor, and each time the needle would go in, the pain would be a little bit less. And each time the stitches brought the pant legs together, it would be so this feeling of connection, really. And as Moshe's watching this, he gets this realization. Not only is this tailor stitching and fixing my pants, he's fixing my soul. With every stitch that he puts through, all of my pain, hurt, and is being healed. I'm feeling more connected, more a part of it. And he's blown away. He's blown away. How can a person be able to live on so many different dimensions of reality? Not only is there the dimension of the physical, of stitching his pants, but at the same time, he's tuned into some dimension or plane of existence right here that is healing and fixing Moshe's soul. And he's in awe. And the tailor finishes his job and he hands Moshe his pants and he says, "May you dance in the streets of Jerusalem with these pants." And so Moshe got his answer. So this story, besides being just a great story, really illustrates what Jewish mysticism is all about. And it's the idea that what we experience in our day-to-day experience in this world, the physical world that is mapped by science and of all the different kinds of sciences that we study and seek to understand, that actually, while that is true, there are dimensions of reality that go so much deeper, that are present right here, that we're not aware of. That as we move around with our day-to-day and our doing and our operating and our achieving and everything that's happening, there are these dimensions of reality in which our actions and our choices are also affecting things that we might not even be able to consider. It's really, it brings into question, why do we know what we know? And how do we know what we don't know? And so mysticism says, in order to Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, Hasidut, our tradition comes to say, if we were to be able to be more present to these other dimensions of reality, and we're not talking about something out there in some spirit world, but is about what is present right here and now that we can't perceive, then not only are we going to be more aware and present to what's needed in a given situation because we just have more information, but also we are able to act and move in ways that can have impact in ways that we may not even be able to conceive of. So, is Jewish mysticism something helpful for our lives? Well, anything that really increases our awareness of the present moment and allows us to be more present in what is and who we are, allows us to be in the world in a way that helps bring God's presence and God's truth and God's reality into our daily